Initiating match. Ready for battle. Five, four, three, two, one. Round one. Capture the objective.
Look alive out there. Engaging enemy forces.
You put up a poor fight.
Can you hear me okay, so? 'Cause that would be pretty rad if you could. Sweet. Alright. Well, that's okay. I didn't say a whole lot. Yeah, Pulsar is on the Winston. And, yeah, Mon's actually on the venture here. Finds a quick pick onto Spoopy Ghost, who gets traded out by Golfed. Mug also swaps off that Sojourn very early along, kind of leaving his Mercy out to dry. Doesn't really have a purpose in the comp now, and, yeah, it's kind of cringe. But side of Bread Dog is building up a lot of ults pretty dang quickly. Missing some support ults here, but they are going to have actually both DPS ults in just a minute. Melee pops his, finds a pick onto Spoopy, and ripping up T2. Gets 2 picks back to back, being the tank and a Mercy. And now T2 are kind of in a spot where they need to find an answer. And I don't know if it's getting back on the Sojourn here, but JP is currently getting dove and very swiftly deals with it. We are going to see Ghost actually antied and very low during that Valk. Mons gets nanoed here, but instantly slept by Ghost. And stuck! That's a huge pulse bomb out by Mug, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to overturn the point. You still have Melee who's doing pop shots outside of it, and Sage gets off just a second too long, and that gives over the point for the first time to T2. I mean, going into this fight, you're going to have Nano Blade for the side of T2. Which gets slept, and Nano doesn't even get onto the Genji, actually goes onto Pulsar, the Winston. And, I mean, it creates a lot of space, but if Sage can get this Mercy here, that should be enough to do T2 in. Mons with some really good follow-up. And Sage is going to aim for this Ana here with his Meteor Strike. Doesn't quite get it, but does enough to scare her away. Unfortunately for the side of Bread Dog, they only have Orbital Ray. They trade an Ana for a Sojourn. Lodal gets a quick pick for follow-up onto Cyber, but that Mercy on the side of T2 gets the res onto their Ana. Melee's not quite back yet, but Primal does come out of Pulsar and actually helps secure the pick onto Mons. Ghost, however, does get followed up. But Melly's gonna fall to Cyber. Scrug gets a counter pick onto that. Sleeping Winston from JP3 Reigns. And JP's gonna end up following to said Winston. Little gets a pick onto a Mug, but it's not gonna be enough. I think Bread Dog really needs to force this White Room fight. They have a lot of poke, but all the flank is just able to do so much here. Pulsar gets antied. It goes down really quickly. Melee gets nailed here, which is never a good combo for anybody else. Hits one shot. That's pretty cool. Goes for the second. Hits that too. And that should be a Bread Dog point.
Oof, that's not gonna be pretty.
Score 1-0.
And so really a clash of styles going into this game. I really expected Mug to stay on the Sojourn, and she did just swap back to, along with Pulsar on the Reinhardt, and Holy on the Juno now. Cyber also pulling up the Mei. But the only swap, actually there's two swaps coming out of T2, or Bread Dog. You're seeing a Brig out of JP, which is kind of strange, considering how well he dealt with that dive the previous round. And Mons, originally showing the Bastion, now playing the Reaper guy. Sage very early to the fight, and I feel like JP is going to find himself quite useless very soon, realizing there's nothing to really counter dive. And T2 have taken pretty good control of this high ground over here. JP3 Reigns is going to be the first pick of the map. And Pulsar taking a very aggressive contest on this point. Super low, same with Cyber. Pulsar should end up falling here though. And without their tank, T2 is just going to kind of fall back quite a bit. But that doesn't stop Mug from trying to go in. Does get the pick on Sage, trading tank for tank, but it's just not enough. With the rest of his team not there for the follow-up, kind of just goes down. Ghost also switches off that... so we don't even know what the hell he was on. But he's off it now. And so now you're at a point where you're just kind of hoping both tank ults are kind of big. Which this Earth Shatter was, but it's not going to be enough for the follow-up on Sage, especially with his Meteor Strike comes out. Gets the kill on Ghost, gets the kill on Holy. And that will be the fight. Now you're going to have 4 ults from the side of Bread Dog. Bread Dog, of course, having JP swap off that Brig onto the Zen. And Sage is just able to really walk around this map free reign. Not a whole lot of pressure onto him, even with this Reinhardt swap. And an Orbit and a Blizzard are coming out of the side of T2. It doesn't really find a whole lot. In fact, Spoopy dies somehow? But outside of that, T2 are making a very convincing fight for this point. Although I don't think it's going to be enough with the Sage finding a pick on the Mug and Pulsar just kind of trying to leave the scene of the crime. Now T2 will have a few ults going into this fight, but it's not going to matter when Cyber just goes down like that. They do have to make a contest effort though. And one of their 2 ults on the side of T2 goes down instantly. Their next ult being Sojourn also goes down pretty instantly. And a very decisive map win for the side of T2, or Bread Dog.
Play of the game.
And this Zen swap was just kind of nasty. I mean, there's nothing more to it. But we will be back with map number 2, which is a hybrid. Scrug does seem to be scrugging. That is a very good point. And T2 going with Eichenwald.
Traveling to Icon. Initiating launch.
Well, we are back with map number 2, that being Eichenwald, a hybrid map chosen by T2. I honestly expect to see a lot of the same coming out from both sides realistically. I'd like to see a little bit of that mug on the Sojourn. I just think he's too dang good on that character to take off. But outside of that, I mean, maybe we see a Mons Venture again. The Mons Bastion's also always a good shout. JP pulling back out on that Ana, but outside of that, I don't expect a whole lot of changes. Little's either going to be on that Juno, that Kiri, or the Mercy. Actually, color me surprised, Pulsar is on the Rat, and Holy on the Moira. So a little bit of a change. Although dive, I quite find to be hard on this first point. T2 are fully embracing it, and for a second that was going to be a lie. Pulsar onto the Winston now. We are going to see that first initial DPS line from Lijiang Tower, that being the Genji Tracer. A little upset it's not Sojourn, but, you know, can't always get what you want. And Pulsar actually already swaps onto that JQ again. And hits a pretty big knife and axe combo. Gets Scrug pretty early. And T2 are pulling up on the point. Forcing Red Dog back. Mons is caught out pretty rough. Goes down. And now you just have Melly kind of sitting on a side angle along with JP3 kind of backing up. Scrug just barely missing the recontest here. And you're seeing a very aggressive push come out of T2. Mons popping that turret form. And Cyber uses a deflect, but that punch coming out from Sage cancels it. Cyber falling super low. Does end up going down. And Pulsar, super low, also goes down. Melly looking for a pick on this Moira here. And finds a pretty nice shot on the Genji. Now we are going to see a Pulse Bomb here in a minute, along with a Coalescence, but Mug falling pretty low is back with his team now. And you also have 5 ults from the side of Bread Dog. JP hitting an anti onto Pulsar, and you got a Nano Melee going in. Finds a pick, but Pulsar, not Pulsar, a Mug gets a pick onto Mons in the back with his Pulse Bomb, but I fear it's too little too late with 4 picks coming up from Melee. Not a whole lot you can do about that, except catch Melee when he's way too overextended. T2 now has an opening, especially with Goff switching off that Moira onto the Kiriko. Cyber getting on that high ground now. Forces out the tort for him, and Blade comes out, finding both the supports, going for more, is going to end up getting Mons, and that's 3 from Cyber. And Scrug will be his next victim. And now going into this next fight, T2 has an ult and a half, we'll call it. They should definitely get Pulse Bomb and Orbital Ray. But Cyber actually just straight up goes down in the neutral. But Pulsar gets a pick onto the Bastion. And Scrug falls pretty low, but will end up staying up. And in the process does trade tanks. And Pulsar actually switches over to the Sigma. I'm not sure I agree with that one too much with the dive team he has going on. Maybe this is Mug's signal to switch over to that Sojourn pick that he's so coveted on. But Mons is getting really dove hard. And a Mug misses the Pulse Bomb. But Pulsar and Cyber get 2 in the meantime. Melee's also extremely low here. Mug really trying to get that pick, and Pulsar engulfed find Little and Melee. It's just Sage alive for the Tide of Bread Dog right now, but he's not going to be up much longer. With Mons popping his ult, looking to get a cheap pick, ends up getting goffed, but I don't think there's anyone there to touch. So, I mean, Mons got a pick, but it was kind of a waste. I mean, this Pulsar guy on the tank, it's just bullying this team. I mean, even playing with such a dive comp on the Sigma, it doesn't matter. He's playing dive sig. Unfortunately, Scrug and Melee find 2. Goff's going to get 1 in the meantime, but will be the next to fall. 2 alive to the side of T2 currently. The very odd combo of Sigma and Tracer. Yeah, I can see that, Spry. This guy, I've heard stories from Warrior. He's pretty good. Although you do see a Mon switch onto Venture, and this is going to be a lot of damage. They throw the satellite out there, and even with that, it's not enough to live. JP although does fall to the Kiriko. Pulse Bomb and Blade come out from the side of T2. And Cyber just really throwing himself at that backline. Ends up getting 2. Although Mons finds the follow-up pick onto him. Pulsar also swaps over to that Reinhardt guy. Though I do believe he's going to fall here. Mons really close to this tectonic shock. And in such a narrow corridor, it's just going to do so dang much to the side of T2. Mug trying to get out, will get out. That was honestly kind of impressive. Mug throwing himself to the back line forces the recall to come out. And that Venture Rope comes out, but it wasn't at a very good time. Same with Little's Kitsune Rush. I mean, it buys a lot of time, but I think you would take 2 ults for having 20 seconds back. And Sage cancels the Shatter. Melly gets a pick onto Cyber, and that should be T2 for the fight. JP pops that window. You're gonna have Melly shooting through it, doing a whole lot of damage to that Pulsar shield. And what's kind of scary is that Overclock's about to come out. All T2 has is 14 seconds left, and Mug actually switches on to that Sojourn, finds the pick onto Melly, but I don't think it's gonna be enough, especially with Scrug being back, getting that pick. And that should be T2 for the round. What started off as a very, very fast first point cap kind of dwindled off a bit. But they're not used to the Scruggington. Well, I mean, if that's what their coach is saying, you might need to sign this guy. Honestly, I'm just waiting for Pulsar to match the Doomfist. I think that's going to be a real treat. Oh, I'm pretty sure JP's trolling here. I don't think he would ever pull this out.
A record of my hopes and thoughts?
That's still a diary, I think.
Nah, it can't be. Not enough stickers in this thing.
Oh god, is JP actually playing Lifeweaver? Oh god. Alright, whatever respect anybody ever had for JP is instantly gone now. Although I don't know if that was a whole lot. Sage, on the other hand, absolutely being a terrorist already. And with Little on that Mercy here, I do expect Melly to get a whole lot of picks here. Although it doesn't help if JP gets picked off by Mug in the back line. Pulsar gets a pick onto... You know what? T2 just wins that fight. That's where I'm going to leave that. Shout comes out from Pulsar. And Sage is just kind of getting bullied right now. Getting pulled every which way. And a Mug gets a pick onto Mons. Honestly, a little surprised to see JP still on the Lifeweaver. Definitely could play any other character. That was an interesting series of events. He kind of just threw the pedal platform down, wasn't on it, looked at it, and then, well, Cyber kind of got offended. I don't think there's much more to put it. Cyber, speaking of though, will have one of 2 DPS ults for his team. And Little and JP are going to have the first ults for their team. Shout comes out of Pulsar. And Tree and Meteor Strike both come out. This is kind of a lost fight for the side of T2. Although 2 ults were committed, there's just not enough going on for them. And Melly pops a very interesting ult. I mean, I guess it gets a pick. And Spoopy just throwing themselves into the fray. I don't expect Mug to really get out here. Although Pulsar Pulsar choose violence here. Alright. Someone really pissed off Pulsar. He is angry right now. And Pulsar will be the first one to get a pick here on the back of his Kitsune Rush. And JP gets pulled forward. Pedal platform does come out, which will save his life. But that puts a Mug and the rest of his team in danger. And JP eventually does get hit with that knife. Mons is hitting the tectonic shock. Not sure if I agree with that. You know, Spry, I don't think I can call him that. But I'll keep that in mind. Blade comes out from Cyber, going in at that backline, gets forced away by a little dude known as Melly. And kind of a weird trade. They trade a tank for a Mercy and a Venture. Melly should be pretty next to fall, but Cyber keeps poking him like he is. He probably will. And I think we're going to see another iconic, whatever this ult is called, Rampage or something along those lines. JP's going to end up falling here. And actually, Melly ends up falling to the wounds. Little's going to try and get that res onto JP. Does succeed. Interesting choice of target. Because JP is throwing himself back at Pulsar. Pulsar finds 2 in the backline, but that's not going to be enough to save his team. Cyber is looking to fall here. Will end up falling. And Spoopy gets the res, but no, Spoopy's gonna get out. Wow, that's kind of mean. Ult comes out from Mug. Doesn't take the overclock one, takes the ammo capacity. Oh, Bread Dog with a minute rolling into this last little part of the point. All you really have for your T2, well actually you're going to have 4 ults up in a minute if you can keep sustain. And Scrug is going to have his Meteor Strike along with Mon's Tectonic Shock, which gets pulled back by JP. It still finds a whole lot. Cyber going down first. Little's going to be the next to fall though. And Spoopy gets the res on Cyber. So actually it wasn't a whole lot. And Pulsar really just hits 2 people with his ult, but it's more than enough. 19 seconds on the clock. Mons should end up getting out. Especially getting that Mega Pack. But the rest of T2 has been forced back so far. But Mons is able to get a pick on Spoopy. Cyber blading currently. I don't know where that's going on, but he got 2. He's going for Melly next. Melly's gonna find Cyber here. Spoopy's going for the res there, which is definitely a decision. And now you just have Mug and Ghost on the point, and that will end up being point number 2. Now, Bread Dog, they have a minute and a half to push 30 meters. Cyber can't fall here. That would probably do him in. Especially with Mons falling solo, but able to back off. JP is on that Lucio swap to touch, but he's a little too far committed now. Katsuna Rush comes out, and you do have an overclock come out from the side of Mug. Gets forced back due to the venture, and that's going to be map number 2. And a pretty big effort coming out from Bread Dog here at the very end. Looked like they were going to struggle for a little bit, and then they just decided not to. Me personally, I would like to do that too. And there is Miracle Max, so now I don't have to talk to the Void. That's pretty cool.
I'm so sorry, chat.
Nope.
Oops, the freaking anemia got to me. So the harrowing. Can I get an invite?
Oh no, can you?
Also, I don't know how you're streaming this if you're on your PlayStation, but the game audio sounds like you're in one of the groan tubes. Like the audio is real borked.
Well, I don't know what to do about that.
If nobody else has complained about it, we can just pretend I never said anything and move on.
All right. Yeah, Sprite saying it's fine enough, so.
Fair enough.
To the max, back to lying.
I'm not lying.
To the max on her lying arc. To the max.
I'm not. If I was lying, I'd say you were a good caster.
Oh man.
Boom, roasted. I'm kidding, you are a great caster.
Oh shoot.
Is that the Arrakis?
Oh my gosh, it's the Arrakis. Chat, this is going to change everything. Honestly, this is just...
Oh. It's just the isn't Arrakis the rat player?
Yeah, the junk god.
Oh boy. Pulsar has toggled. Also, I thought Pulsar was on T1.
He's subbing.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't get to make a groan tube noise now.
Yes, I do.
I actually said no, so.
Nuh-uh.
Ooh.
Did they pick a map yet?
No, they have not. Now, for how one-sided it's been, I feel like under the right circumstances,
Gibby.
with the right people, with the right moves, I think T2 can bring it back.
But do you think they have the right circumstances, the right moves, and the right people?
I think they do. I think with Arrakis spectating them, I think that's what was needed.
Now, Jared, did
Yes.
you know that on this map there are 2 lighthouses?
Yeah, some controversial people like to point out that there might be 3, but they're wrong.
Nah, there is a secret third one, but I just ate it.
They're big fat duty heads, and we do
I'm
not
gonna
respect
kill
them.
you in your sleep.
You already threatened to waterboard me.
That wasn't a threat. That was a promise.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
will record it and post it in Gunginga.
Yeah, whoever wins the finals gets to watch me get waterboarded.
This is so true. Live on stream.
Yeah, everyone else just gets to watch the recording.
Yeah.
Well,
But then
Miracle
there.
Max, you haven't been here the entire series. What do you expect to see out of both sides today?
I'm so sorry, T2. I feel like you're gonna get steamrolled.
Whoa! Now, historically, Red Dog.
No, hear me out. Hear me out. We
Mhm.
know that Mons is a great player. Like, we know that he's great on Fika Time. And Little is just the goat of support. No, you cannot choose the liquid. Also, you haven't
What?
won yet, so shut up.
I hope I get to choose the liquid.
No. It's just gonna be water. But we know that, like, Mons and Little are both great players, and they're subbing for an already great team. Have not been performing super well, but I think they've been underperforming a little bit. We do see a bit of a dive heavy comp from, actually that is just a dive comp from T2 over here. But they're not really diving onto that back line up on the high ground.
Yeah, but Cyber gets Mons, and Spoopy, of course, being on that Mercy, gets the Resident Cyber. Pulsar looking for this jump onto that high ground. JP is super low here, ends up being the next to fall.
Torpedoes do not lock on in time.
And
Ellie
Little,
falls next, and there goes
goodbye.
No, maybe I just had to say it.
Maybe you
They
just
weren't
needed to be
diving the
patient,
back
Max.
That's not in my vocabulary. I am not patient.
Oh, I know. I know. You know who is patient? Pulsar, Silent King, stays winning. Pulsar looking for that next huge dive, although JP, not cool, not Silent King, onto the brig. Not very
Sound
demure.
like a politician.
Yeah, I have to
Not
run for
Silent
Gungingo.
King.
I gotta
Like,
run
for
for
Gunginga
Gungingo.
Captain or whatever.
Yeah, you have to make a whole Shamir campaign about your rivals.
Jared can't read.
I would not like to comment, but what I would like to comment about is Melly currently being harassed by this Winston guy. Sage comes back for the peel, and
What
also
a great
uses Meteor
rotation
Strike.
from Little, by the way.
Yeah, we don't talk about it.
Staying
Little,
on that high ground.
Little stays losing. We don't like him very much.
Is it Little on your team?
Yeah.
That's just a self roast.
Yeah, his team sucks, specifically his captain.
Yeah, his captain's a bit weird. I heard he can't read.
Oh, man.
And he volunteered to get waterboarded for the
I didn't volunteer to get waterboarded. Scrug, however, volunteering Spoopy and a Mug's life for the Skull Throne.
Skulls for the Skull Throne, blood for the Blood Grod.
Speaking of the Bread Grod, you do see
Bread.
Pulsar.
Bread God!
Pulsar is hounding down on Melly right now. Not gonna find a whole lot, but he did poke him a few times with his big monkey-sized fists. Now, Max, if you're on the side of T2, you have 3 ults coming up. However, for the side of Bread Dog, they have 4. Not only do they have 4, their ults are a lot scarier in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm expecting to see a Bob, you know, upon the inevitable dive onto Melly.
Yeah, unfortunately, JP is just kind of taking offense to everything dive.
JP actually just kind of... JP and Melly, not Melly. JP and Mons kind of just being an anchor for the anti-dive right now.
Yeah, it sucks, but JP's actually good at the brig. Although, kind of a weird bob coming out from Melly.
Yeah, that is not the Bob I would have liked to see, but it's not even deterring them from pushing.
It's a decoration.
You know, Bob is my favorite decoration. I play Ashe. I've played Ashe previously.
That's nice. Pulsar, however, has played Winston previously, and he's not having a lot of success right now.
No, like I said, I think JP and Mons are really just causing problems for that dive. And Melly just denying that blade.
Yeah, he really was not a big fan of that.
I will say, least obvious blade of all time.
Well,
That
in
was a little saucy. I'm sorry.
his defense didn't have a whole lot to do, but
Yeah.
yeah, not a very good round from the side of T2 after a very strong initial showing on Eichenwald.
Yeah. I mean, I think they had the right idea going for dive, but I think they were just getting caught up by Scrug way too much,
Well,
and Mons and JP swapping there just instantly really helped pull the team back together. They had a great first engage there, but it all kind of fell apart once they swapped things around.
well, I would have liked to see, because Pulsar is a very nasty Sigma, I would have liked to see him pull that out. Maybe go for a little bit of a slower composition with
Yeah, I
keeping Mug on the
agree.
Sojourn, because they haven't done that a whole lot. And speak of the devil, I might be a prophet.
Profit.
I wish I was
I
as
think
good as Prophet. He's really good at the game.
I'll pretend I know who that is.
He's like the GOAT of Overwatch. He's like Korean Super TF. You know that guy.
I do. He has the football-sized head. He looks like Hey Arnold.
Yeah, and then he dates all of these cosplayer chicks. Anyways, we are going to see Mons on the Pharah, Melly on the Mustard, or Echo.
What?
And
Is
outside
it
of that,
Mustard Echo?
no, it's not. It's a weird Echo skin. It's that weird butterfly one. It's like purplish
Oh,
pink.
I like that one.
No, you don't. Sage also doesn't like that one, diving on the backline to get away from it.
Fair
And-
enough.
It goes down.
Goes
Cyber
down to
on the
Cyber.
Torb. Now Mons is playing from his homeland of Sweden. JP's on Mercy.
Oh.
What the hell?
Well, as we've said on stream multiple times, JP is a Mercy main. I don't understand why you're questioning it. T2 is doing an excellent job at just kind of anchoring down here.
Little's right there. Put Little on
Yeah.
Mercy.
I feel like you're getting really hung up on the whole Little on Mercy thing, or JP on Mercy thing.
You haven't known him as long as I have.
That is true. However, in the time that I have known him, I've seen him play more Mercy than I've seen him play anything else.
Okay, now you're just lying. You're blatantly lying. Kind of
I'm
like
not,
how
I'm
Melly is
not.
lying to Spoopy's health bar.
I don't know if melting is lying, but I
don't
Whatever
get paid to know things.
vocabulary-
I get paid to
you don't
yap.
get paid.
That's technically not true.
Wow. And this is just another reason why you shouldn't vote for Jared.
Mainly because there is no
Bredon
vote.
taking the W.
Yeah, that is something that did happen. Honestly, kind of a sad way to see T2 go out. They played two really good, really close control maps, a really good round of Eichenwald, a really good defensive Eichenwald, and then here it just kind of all fell apart.
What a great, sticky nades from Melly there.
Yeah, honestly, if you're a T2 fan, feels bad. But, you know.
I think you have to take some pride in the fact that they did put up the good effort. They didn't give up. They didn't drop out. They had a really rough series, but they stuck with it. And that's the only, I don't know why I turned Midwestern there. That's the only way to get better,
Oh yeah, bud.
Oh yeah, bud.
So
You can't give up.
feels bad T2. Hopefully we'll see you in the next season of the Gunginga League. Yeah, you were always a fun team to watch because you always pulled out the goofy, silly hee-hees. But, you had your great pop-off moments. Now, speaking of great pop-off moments, we do have JP3 Reigns, who, through the last map, specifically the attack.
What do you
JP,
mean?
talk us through why you hate your life.
If he's a Mercy
So-
main, he's just a girly.
You take that back.
I hate Mercy with a passion. And anybody that even remotely knows me knows that.
I've
Yeah,
seen you get
However,
3 play of the
we wanted
games
to
as
get some
Mercy.
practice in with a new composition, and we kind of figured, well, I'll just be the baguette. I'll do a baguette impression, and played Mercy.
Can we
That's
hear this
nice.
baguette impression?
Yeah. Do you got one?
No,
Boo.
it'd be a disservice to her. I can't disrespect my teammate like that.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but
you
it would
playing
be funny
Mercy
for the
is a
rest of
disservice
us.
to all Mercy mains.
That's true, JP.
Did I die?
Yeah, you died in my heart.
Yeah.
You're dead to me now. I don't even know if I want to continue on this interview with you. However, I
All right,
will.
thank you guys so much.
So, well, I mean, I was gonna say which was worse, the Mercy or the Life Weaver?
Definitely the Life Weaver. Walk us through
JP
throwing your pedal
surviving.
down and then looking at it and then dying to the Genji.
I don't know why. I don't know what I was doing. I was legitimately just like, Life Weaver sounds like fun.
Yeah, you looked
And I'm
straight
like,
down at it.
maybe if I look at my pedal, it'll just magically go up.
So now to the actual questions. What was your game plan heading into this?
Have fun.
Okay. You-
Yeah, I mean, we kind of already knew exactly what our game plan was gonna be. It's unfortunate, the Pi's Wi-Fi was out, and I don't know what happened to Baguette, so we had to fill in with some subs. The venture definitely wasn't something that we had in our bag before, but it's kind of not knowing who you're playing with. You can't really go in with a set strategy other than Doomfist.
No need, no tank. And Scrug played phenomenally.
he played an anomaly.
The anomaly from TFT in
So
Arcane.
here's the thing.
So here's the thing. It's clobbering time. That's what Scrug said. Played phenomenal. I can't talk
So
right
Scrug
now.
played phenomenally. This
Yeah.
is when Max finishes the rest of the sentence.
I honestly, your whole team played really well, even with the subs. You had like I was commenting on the fact that you have 2 great players like subbing for your team today. What was it like, playing with Mons and Little today?
I mean, little is subbed for my team quite a bit. He was kind of the perma sub for when I
Yeah.
wasn't there, so they're very comfortable with it, and I have tons of ranked experience with Little, so it was very natural to play with him. That was nothing new. However, playing with Nemesis, or I don't know
Mons.
what his name is.
Mons.
Sure, he did great. I haven't really interacted with him a lot other than the times that like I played him or seen him maybe in a custom game or two. So it was nice. It's good. I'm glad to interact with more people, and it's definitely a different hero pool than what we have with Pi. So it was fun. It's always nice to try new things and interact with new people.
Yeah, it's almost like the exact other side of the extreme.
Oh, of Pi?
Yeah.
No, they both play Bastion.
Oh, my bad.
Real high tier
And
skill.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, my bad. Okay.
Okay, you know what? But the big difference is the Venture and the May.
Actually,
I think Pi plays May, right?
Pi's a venture one
Yes.
trick now.
I don't remind me.
So JP is the one spreading misinformation here, is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
No.
So,
No, Pi just decided to throw his placements and play Venture.
So JP,
Sure.
You guys got pushed quite a bit, especially on Eichenwald. Were there any changes you guys made after absolutely getting steamrolled on that first point? What really solidified the defense going into second point?
We didn't die. There was like no set strategy. It's just kind of like, oh, okay, let's lock in a little bit more, and then didn't die. It was also advantageous that we just didn't get like one shot. We just lost the defense right away because Sage got yanked.
Yeah, that he
After
did.
that, he just kind of did a better job of surviving. So we all tried to go help him survive, and then we were out of position, and then we just got steamrolled, and then when he didn't keep getting yanked, it was fine.
Yep, fair enough. Did T2 pull out anything you really didn't expect from them today?
You know, considering I wasn't there the first time we played them, and I have not got a chance to watch their VODs,
Everything?
everything.
Well, um, that's not
Um,
very helpful. Let's scratch that question.
no, I mean there was like a few interesting ones, like on the last on Gibraltar where they were playing Mercy with a full dive comp. That was definitely something that was a little unique. Um, and then their tank was like proper or something like that.
Pulsar.
Pyre, Pulsar. I know it started with a P. No, I mean that he had like a bunch of flexibility, which I wasn't necessarily expecting. Um, the Queen is not something you see a lot of in the league. Um, the Winston, they definitely had some very nice coordinated dives, and when they were able to do that, that provided some problems for us. Um, Again, the Queen kind of threw in a wrinkle, but having little just to play the Kyrie is unfortunately a whole counter to that character.
Yeah,
And
Little's
then
kind of just a cheat code.
Sigma is just like a very solid tank. I think I think he did well on it. It's just a bit of an unfortunate matchup into Doom for him. I mean, that was probably the biggest one. It's just like the pure flexibility from their tank.
Yeah. Well, do you have any more questions, Max?
No.
All right, JP, you have one more game to get out of the play-ins. You must play USA, which, as we all know, is a very damn good team.
Yeah.
So going into that, if you beat them, you will play T1. If you don't beat them, you're out of the play-ins and dead. Your team's dead. Bread Dog explodes. So,
Death Star?
no.
Oh,
Like the Death Star, yeah.
okay. Wait, the first one or the second one?
I'd like to call every other team the second one. This team, this is the first one, JP. It's nice and shiny. It's got some glam to it.
Right.
Wait, what's the second one?
The one that's like half built.
What?
Yeah, Max. There's two Death Stars. There's one in episode 4, and there's one in episode 6.
Oh, I thought you were referring to the one that's the size of a planet.
They're both the size.
We don't acknowledge that one.
No, wasn't the first one like the first 2 moons, and then the second one is just an entire planet?
Yeah,
Yes,
we
the
don't
one
acknowledge
named
that one.
Trilogy is
7, 8, and 9 are just mental illnesses.
yeah.
I liked 8.
No, you didn't.
7 was fine. 8
Anyways,
was bad.
so going into this USA game, JP,
Yeah.
do you have any words to say to really rile them up, or is it just have fun?
Motivation to my team.
Yep.
Have fun.
Okay.
Be terrified of a widow.
Yep, fair enough.
Other than that, that team has a lot of cohesion. They've played together a lot in both Gonginga and in like rank games and stuff like that. And I know quite a few of them know each other IRL, so they're good friends and stuff. So I mean, they know what they're gonna do. They have a plan. It's just, can they execute it, and can we think of something that can outdo it? I think having Sage on that Doomfist is definitely going to put a lot more pressure onto their DPS line, which I'm not trying to be mean to the rest of the team, but it's definitely the strong point of that team. Aiden and Sam can go absolutely crazy and carry them against any team in the league. So having Sage is going to be a big boon for that. It'll just be on the rest of us to not get headshot in the meantime.
So
Fair enough. All right, JP3 Reigns, as we wait on you holding the rest of the league hostage,
I don't know what you mean. I'm doing great.
as we wait on Bread Dog to stop holding the rest of the league hostage, that's all that we have for today. Thank you for T2 for playing this season. It's been wonderful watching you. Thank you to Meteor for also playing this season. Obviously not the way either of those teams wanted to go out, but, it happens. Only 4 teams can make it to the playoffs at the end of the day, and that is what we are here for. Goodbye.